GradeCam is revolutionary image recognition software that gives teachers an invaluable tool for managing paperwork and improving the quality of education.
GradeCam has been great for me because it has not only saved me time, but the students get turnaround and answers for their tests so fast. It's amazing.
I think that GradeCam is one tool that helps us to keep improving education. Sort of like, would you rather wash your clothes by hand or use a washing machine? It makes a huge difference.
I feel that GradeCams are just a great benefit to me as a teacher and helps me become a better teacher.
Like other scanning technologies, GradeCam was developed to simplify a tedious task. But when the task of gathering information on student performance is simplified, the effect on learning is profound. GradeCam's affordable price makes it a practical solution for every classroom. Unlike old scanning technology, GradeCam is completely software-driven and involves no moving parts. And since forms can be reproduced by you on standard paper, the ongoing costs of operation are almost non-existent.
The GradeCam is a better form of a system for me than using the Scantron because I get the immediate feedback and it doesn't sit on my desk for me to go to another room to do the scanning. So I can alter how I'm teaching right then and there, or I can prepare my lesson more appropriately for the next day.
Hi, I'm Rick Porter and I'm going to show you 3 ways to use GradeCam in your classroom. Tests, graded papers, and homework. First, I'm going to show you how to use GradeCam for your tests. Use one of our forms, which is reproducible. You have your students bubble in the last 4 digits of their student ID or whatever number you want to assign to them. They take the test. In this case, I'm asking 16 questions. Even though I've got a 20-question form, I'm going to type in that I'm doing 16 questions. And I put my answer key underneath the camera. And it just read my answer key. And now I'm going to start scanning. You can see the red X's next to the questions that are missed. And one of the best ways to use GradeCam is in the classroom. And you have your students actually do the scanning. You put it on student view. And when Jake comes up and puts his test under, this is what he sees. He's got 11 points out of 16, and he can see which ones he's missed. And when he gets done, he just hits the space bar to clear it for the next student to come up. So Sean comes up. Sean sees he's got 11. Now I'm going to show you how GradeCam works with your graded assignments. You take a label, you peel this off, you put it on top of your assignment before you run your photocopies. So each student receives a blank photocopied label at the top of the page. They bubble in the last 4 digits of their student ID or whatever number you want to assign to them. And then I would grade this paper, and they receive 42 out of 50, and I bubble in the score of 42 up here. Then I go into GradeCam, put it on score, and I put them under the camera, and it starts reading the ID number and the score that I put on it. I don't have to put them in any particular order, because it's reading the ID number. As soon as I get done, I go into my gradebook, I set it up for that assignment, I click on the top cell of the gradebook, I press F8, and then all my grades are entered. The third type of paperwork GradeCam can help you with is your homework. You take a score label, you peel it off, and put it on top of your homework assignment. You photocopy it so all the students receive a blank label. They bubble in the last 4 digits of their student ID. And I'd use this in the case of when I want to give points to my students, but I'm not actually going to grade it. I go into GradeCam, I set it on credit, type in how many points I'm going to give them. In this case, I'm going to give them 5 points for turning it in. Put the assignment under the camera, and it reads the ID, and everybody's ID that shows up gets 5 points. And it doesn't have to be in any particular order because it's reading the ID. And I can also use this after I've collected my homework to see that Greg and Jake haven't turned their homework in yet. Go into my gradebook, click on the top cell, hit F8, and then my homework's entered. As you can see, GradeCam is really easy to use. It gives your students instant feedback. It makes it really easy for you to put your grades in your gradebook.
Use GradeCam a couple of different ways. Use them in the class with assessments, with quizzes and that, for it going, directly into the grade program. But more importantly for me, with teaching calculus, when we get ready for AP exams, I like to use it as a quick way to let me know what my students do know and don't know so I can prepare them better for their advanced placement examination.
The amount of time that it saves me in a day, it's so nice to give a test that day and have it back to the kids with the correct or incorrect answers so they know, and then I can, obviously the best part of it is I can look at my own and assess myself on my teaching styles and see what I've been doing to improve as a teacher.
Well, when I would use it for a test, they would instantly know what their score was, and I was able to tell them immediately which questions they got wrong. And they would go back to their seat and be able to look at their test rather than having to wait for me to maybe take it to the Scantron machine the next day or having to hand grade it. Even when I'm doing their homework, they know they're grading it against a rubric. So they know that they're getting their score, they're getting it right away. It makes this beeping noise so they know that their score is entered and they feel confident that it's going to be in the grade book. Since grades are online, the parents are able to check that day that they turned in their homework so the kids have immediate feedback to know that they're getting credit.
Well, with formative learning, especially with standards being so important right now, you can do it in a couple of ways. One of the ways that I can do it when I'm grading essays is use the quiz form, and you can then decide I'm going to work only on run-on sentences, fragments, comma splices, or whatever you choose for that particular essay. And then that's what you put on your form and give so many points for each of those things. As you find one, you take those points away, and then when you scan it in, you can see where their problems are. And they immediately know, gee, I missed 5 on sentence fragments, I've got to work on that. And it's really more for the student. I mean, it helps me as a teacher, but really for kids to know, gee, I didn't do well on that, I need to work on that. And that's what I want my students to do, be in charge of their own learning. So that's a real time saver.
With GradeCam, you can easily grade multiple choice tests with up to 100 questions, connect test items to your state standards and track student progress with convenient reports, instantly enter test results in your gradebook, get instant statistics for real-time data-driven decision-making, print test forms with pre-bubbled student IDs, turn the document camera you already own into an amazing formative assessment tool, and save hours every week. GradeCam, the best tool ever invented to help teachers minimize paperwork and maximize student learning. For additional information or to purchase a GradeCam for your classroom or a site license for your school, please go to www.gradecam.com or give us a call at 1-866-472-3339.